the armor will enter the land. The battle belongs to the Lord. No weapon that's fashioned against us will stand. The battle belongs to the Lord, and we sing glory, honor, power, and strength to the Lord. We sing glory, honor, power, and strength to the Lord.
There was a king of Persia named Ahasuerus who ruled over 127 provinces, from India down to Ethiopia. He threw a huge party that lasted 6 months for all the princes and military officials. Then he threw a 7-day party for his palace servants and officials. In the meantime, Queen Vashti was holding her own party for the women of the kingdom. On the 7th day of the party, the king summoned Queen Vashti so he could show off her beauty in front of all the other men. Queen Vashti refused to attend, and the king was furious. The king's advisors told him to banish Queen Vashti and replace her with someone more worthy. We will hold a beauty contest, and whoever you choose will become the next queen of Persia. The king liked the idea, and the servants were dispatched to find the most beautiful young women in all the empire. Now there was a Jewish man named Mordecai who lived very close to the palace. He had a cousin named Esther who was very beautiful. Esther was spotted by the king's servants and taken off to be in the beauty contest. Mordecai warned her not to tell anyone that she was a Jew. For a year, Esther was pampered with beauty treatments and given expensive clothing and jewelry. The women were presented to the king one by one. When the king Ahasuerus met Esther, he was so taken with her that he placed the crown on her head right then and there. So Esther became queen, and Mordecai became a palace official. All the while they kept Esther's Jewish nationality a secret. One day, while Mordecai was on duty, he overheard 2 of the guards plotting to kill the king. Mordecai quickly passed this information to Esther, who told the king about it and gave Mordecai credit for unearthing the plot. The 2 plotters were found guilty and executed. Meanwhile, the king promoted a man named Haman to prime minister, the second most powerful position in the empire. Haman was a descendant of Agag, king of the Amalekites, who were sworn enemies of the Jews. Everyone was expected to bow down before Haman as he passed by. But Mordecai refused to bow down to anyone but God. This made Haman very angry, and when he found out that Mordecai was a Jew, it made him furious. Right then and there, Haman decided that it was time to get rid of not only Mordecai, but of all the Jews in Persia. Haman approached King Ahasuerus. There's a race of people called the Jews scattered throughout your kingdom, and their laws are different to ours. Sooner or later, they will cause big problems, so we must eliminate them completely. I have 375 tons of silver I'd like to donate to the royal treasury if this can be done. The decree was written in the name of King Ahasuerus and sealed with the king's ring. Messengers were dispatched, giving the order that all Jews must be annihilated on a single day the following year, the 13th day of Adar, which is March. The date was decided by drawing lots called Purim. When Mordecai found out he and all the Jews were going to face annihilation, he put on a sackcloth and ashes and stood outside the gate of the palace, wailing and crying bitterly. News of the king's decree swept through the kingdom, and soon there was great mourning among all the Jews. Mordecai got a message to Queen Esther to let her know what was happening. "You need to stand up for your people," he said. "It is possible that you have been raised to royalty for such a time as this." When Esther got the message, she realized that Mordecai was right. "Go throughout the kingdom and ask all the Jews to fast and pray," she replied. "My maids and I will do the same. Then, even though it is against the law, I will approach the king. And if I die, I die." The remainder of the story of Esther will continue next week. For now, if you would like some fun, check out this clip from VeggieTales that recounts Esther being chosen as queen. You can scan the QR code or enter in the bit.ly to access the video. For a longer study, you can access these activities. They are printable, and some can be done online as well. Simply scan the QR code or type in the bit.ly address to access these documents.